Okay, now today is October 22 and it's National Stammer Awareness Day. Did you know that? It is. And so we're going to talk to Adam Black, and he is a school teacher from Renfrewshire, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the day and what it means to him and why we should be aware of it. We're going to give him a call right now. Here we go. Calling Adam.
Hi there. Hi, how are you today?
Hello, Adam. Did you hear me? Did you hear me already? Are you on the line? How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. That's
Fantastic.
great. That's great. Thank you.
And I was introducing you, and I said you're a school teacher from Renfrewshire, and you're here to tell us about Stammer Awareness Day. Today is October 22, and so over to you.
Great. Thank you. So today is International Stammering Awareness Day. So it's the sort of highlight of the calendar for people who stammer. And I guess people that stammer, it affects about 3% of the population across the entire globe.
Yes.
So it's a fair amount of people. It's a neurological condition. So it is just the way that your brain's hardwired. So there's not a lot you can do about it. If you stutter, you stutter.
Okay.
And I like to talk about stuttering as much and as often as I can, because I think it's important that we put ourselves out there, that we celebrate the things that make us unique and make us a wee bit different. So on International Stammering Awareness Day, I just wanted to highlight that. There's some things that a lot of people ask, and I think these are good things to talk about.
Okay.
You know, what you should do if you encounter somebody who stutters.
Yes.
And the easiest and the best is somebody who stutters and they are stammering lots and lots, and you may be feeling a wee bit uncomfortable, then I can guarantee you're feeling a lot more comfortable than the person who's stammering. So the best thing to do is just to keep nice eye contact, sort of keep a smiley sort of face on you, you know, don't look apprehensive, don't look embarrassed, and just keep that conversation going. I think it's good to talk about stammering, and I think that we all have things that are unique about us, and for those of us that stutter, that can be the thing that's unique about ourselves.
Yes.
So yeah, that's, I think on Stammering Awareness Day of all days, it's good to speak about it.
I was going to ask, so you have tips for those who don't stutter and who might want to make the stutterer feel a bit more comfortable, or feel included, and say it's fine, we'll take your time, and we'll wait for you to get your words out. But do you have tips for kids or young people or anybody who stammers? What should they do when they feel that, when they feel it coming on? Are there tips they can use, or if it's taking a long time, are there things they can do?
Yeah, no, that's a good question to ask. There's a load of trains of thought on that. Is therapy a good thing or a bad thing for people that stammer? And for me, it was a good thing. I found a speech course which was helpful for me. And the biggest part of that, though, was just embracing your stutter and not hiding it anymore, and showing yourself as somebody who's not a fluent speaker. So if you have a child, or if you're a professional and you've got a colleague that stutters, then the best thing to do is just to be nice and relaxed around that person, and let them know that it's okay if they stutter, that you are going to take an extra few minutes out of your day if they're struggling with a word or stuttering on a word. So I think that's the best thing. I wouldn't get into trying to coach people out of stuttering, because unfortunately, because it's a neurological condition, by about the age of 11, so if you still stutter after 11, then you're going to stutter for the rest of your life. You do get some cases in young children that as their brain develops and the pathways in their brain form and change, that they might stutter at 3, 4 or 5, and they might sort of not stutter as they get slightly older, but by about the age of 11, if you're still stammering, then you'll stammer for life.
So is there any truth?
So I would just...
Okay, I'm sorry. Please finish.
No. No, I was just going to say, I think the biggest message is if you're speaking to somebody who stutters, keep nice and relaxed around them, be polite. You know, these are the messages that we should be asking for our fluent speakers.
Yes. I was going to say, is there any truth to the myth that if you started when you were younger and you stopped, when you're older, maybe stressful situations or emotional situations can bring it back? Or is that just Hollywood nonsense?
Well, I mean, I guess there might be some cases like that, but the sort of theory out there is that if you're still stammering at 11, then you probably stutter as an adult. If you haven't, like, because I've got 2 wee boys and they've shown periods of disfluency, but that hasn't been for quite a wee while. So I'm hoping that they won't stutter as an adult. So really, as you get through, as you get older, you sort of either are going to stutter or you're not. It doesn't really go away then come back as such. It's either it's always there. Yeah, it's always there.
And I was going to ask as well, is it limiting? I know on the face of it, it should seem like it's limiting, but if we're living in a world where we're trying to embrace it, and, you know, your idea out there is to embrace it and embrace your stutter, it's part of you, makes you unique. Should that limit you in ways? So you keep saying public speaking, fluent speakers. Can a stammerer be a public speaker? Should we be more patient with that and, you know, let them do what they need to do and in the time it takes them to do it? Or are there certain occupations that are completely out of bounds for a stammerer?
Yeah, do you know, I would say on that issue, I think it's a great question to raise awareness of, that it's really down to the individual. And that although I'm of the mindset that you show people your stutter and you talk about it, other people are quite happy to maybe not put themselves out there. You know, they're happy to order online, they're happy to go to McDonald's and use the wee self-scanning bit instead of talking to the person at the kiosk. But there's a campaign at the moment, there's a charity in the UK called Stammer. And they've got a campaign at the moment called "There's no diversity if there's no disfluency." So what they would like to see is more people who stutter on television, more people who stutter on shows and dramas and stuff. So I think it sort of comes down to the individual. But I think personally, as a personal person, my personal opinion, is that the more people out there that are shown to be stuttering, it can't be a bad thing.
I think you are absolutely correct, because I remember coming up, and we always had one kid in class, or there was always somebody who stammered, and you knew that, and you just let them be and get the words out when they could, and it seems like I don't see that anymore. I don't see that on TV. I don't see it anywhere. And you see it 3% of the population. That's a lot of people. So, why don't we see it on our TVs and our radios? Why don't we see it, So I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a fair point. It's historically, people on television with stammer have either been a fun character, like Porky Pig, for example, or it's somebody that's had a trauma in their background and they're now a murderer or something like that. And even in I'm watching Harry Potter at the moment at home, and in the first Harry Potter film, there's a guy that stutters in it, but he's the bad guy. So it's never just like a normal thing. There's never just a character who has a wee stutter.
It's true. No, it's true. You are absolutely right. There should be more awareness. Thank you for doing this every year, because I was researching you, and I think you've been doing it for a few years now. So thank you for doing it every year, and thank you for just taking the initiative to do it. Thank you for putting it out there, and also for just the idea that yes, there should be more newscasters, radio presenters, actors in scenes who are not the villain or the butt of the comic character, just regular folk, who stammer, who happen to stammer. It's true.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Adam, thank you so much. Is there anything we can do? Are there any orgs we can follow? Anywhere we can support, or is there anything we can do?
I would say, just as a final thing, if people are interested in stammering, the place to go would be Stammer, STAMMA, which is a charity in the UK. But just as a point of call, if you are speaking with somebody who stutters, it's just about being relaxed and positive in that conversation.
Absolutely.
That would be like a final message would be that, basically.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you. Bye. That was wonderful. That was Adam Black. He's just a stammerer, and also he raises awareness for stammering and stammering awareness every single year. And today is October 22, International Stammering Awareness Day, and he's raising awareness of it. And he says, if you're talking to a stammerer, be relaxed, give them the time to get their words out. Don't be nervous. Don't look apprehensive if it's taking a long time. Just keep a neutral face or a smiley face and let them finish. Another, what I heard coming up is don't finish their sentence for them. It's very easy to jump in and want to finish the sentence for the person, but that's not right either, I believe. Just let them finish and just have some patience. Give them a few extra seconds of your time. And the final one, which I totally agree, is normalizing stammering in everything. So we should have representation everywhere. If we're going to have representation of all diversity, colors and creeds and health conditions and everything, why not stammering? So why not have a newscaster who stammers? Why not have an actor in the scene, a leading man who happens to stammer, not the villain, not the comic relief, but just a regular person who stammers, or a woman who stammers in a movie, in a TV show, or presenting? Why not? Anyway, happy International Stammering Awareness Day. Thank you, Adam, for coming on the show. That was fantastic, and we will take all your advice into cognizance. And if you want to support, or if you want to know more about stammering, just go to Stammer, STMMA, it's a UK charity, and you'll find out more.